What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show.
All right, so we're going to get to the podcast. We're going to start off with, I get, depending on who you're talking to, some somber news here. And I hate to say it that way. But we did have like 3 wrestling deaths. 2 that I am familiar with. I guess enough to, to talk more about. I'll start off with first. So we lost Ole Anderson. For those who don't know about Ole Anderson, of my time of watching, because even though I wasn't watching his day, he was one of the founding fathers of the Four Horsemen. So originally it was Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and J.J. Dillon. That was the original Four Horsemen. Okay. Now my era of the Four Horsemen that I really like was the one where they took Ole out and they had Barry Windham in there. That was my favorite era of the Horsemen. Ole Anderson, he was a booker, and along with the wrestler, and he was one of those get off my lawn type of old people, very old school, very headstrong. Did not miss a chance to talk about how much he hated Ric Flair in the shoot interview.
Oh, Bret Hart Sr. actually.
You talking about Ole Anderson? Just straight.
Bret Hart Sr.
Yeah.
Every time this man get talking time, he got to bring up Goldberg.
Well, yeah. Oh God, he won't leave Goldberg alone. But Ole Anderson, he didn't miss an opportunity to talk about Ric Flair. And it's actually funny because he was actually when he was in the booker, like in the early days of WCW and Prime. Do you remember that Black Scorpion storyline?
With Sting?
Yeah. Where it was like Sting got attacked by the Black Scorpion and they didn't know who it was, but then it ended up being Ric Flair. Even though the body type, it wasn't Ric Flair to begin with, because they didn't know what the storyline was going to go, and they just ended up making it Ric Flair.
I'm just going to be honest with you. Sting, that's why Sting is a smart guy, but Sting is so stupid because Ric Flair crossed this man.
Stupid.
Every chance he get, he crosses this man. Like, you know how many times Sting done fell for the Four Horsemen are going to beat me up. I'm going to team with Ric Flair against them every time.
That's why I used to have a problem with Surfer Sting. I really used to have a problem with Surfer Sting doing that crap. And I was like, come on, bro. You gotta be better than this. You gotta be better than this, right?
Especially the time when he made that hot tag, went off the ropes and then beat up Sting.
Yeah. That was an error. That was an error. So Ole Anderson was, kind of responsible for that angle, and throughout the years, I didn't think he took a liking to Vince McMahon too much at all, and I think especially after the whole Black Saturday thing happened, because that documentary is about to come on Dark Side of the Ring this year. I think starting this month. I think March is starting with the Dark Side of the Ring, where they're gonna talk about that. And how he was in charge of, was it the Georgia Championship Wrestling? And they kind of, the Briscoes had a secret meeting to kind of like get it out from, to go to McMahon and get it out from Ole Anderson. And he just basically said, Vince, go fuck yourself, which I have to kind of agree with on that part. But, from the stuff that I heard too much of Ole Anderson, I necessarily, like I said, I wasn't a fan of that era, or at least that version of the Four Horsemen. Like I said, I liked it when Barry Windham got in there, and that was my favorite version of the Four Horsemen. And then I also had another favorite era when they had, Mongo and Dean Malenko and Voldemort in that version of the Four Horsemen in WCW.
There's a what in the Four Horsemen?
Huh?
You said there's a what in the Four Horsemen?
I said Mongo McMichael. Remember him?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
And Voldemort.
NFL Hall of Famer, Mongo McMichael.
Yes. Yeah. Dean Malenko, who should be a Hall of Famer pretty soon, and Voldemort.
Yep.
Yeah, he who should not be named. You know what I'm talking about.
Correct.
Funny thing is, I actually got a poster in my office of that version of Four Horsemen, all signed by them except for one, and I think you can guess which one it was.
There's a what in the Four Horsemen?
Okay, I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, we who should not be named.
Yeah, he should not be named, obviously. But yeah, so
I think at the moment we got 3 of them.
Now also we had another wrestling death also for those who would know him, Virgil passed away on February 28th, and he was 72 years old.
What's his other names?
Okay, so Virgil had like a lot of names. He had, first of all, his real name was Michael Charles Jones, so he used to call him Mike Jones. Who?
See, Prime put you right in that trap, man. I'm like, seriously.
You see, I said who, right? Okay, so I knew he was going with that. He used to be Vince, Shane, Soul Train Jones, Mr. Jones.
I think he was only Soul Train.
Damn, did he go by Stephanie too? Why he got all the McMahon names?
Because so funny thing. When Virgil went to WCW, right, he was supposed to be, look, my fingers are going up, the bodyguard of the NWO, but he was the one that kept getting his ass beat, so the NWO had to get his ass beat, so they call him Vincent. It's like a playoff Mr. McMahon, so he could keep kicking his ass over and over again, and then towards the end, they start calling him Shane.
Who was Slapjack? Oh no, that was never mind. That was the other Booker.
I'm about to say, I do know that's what Stevie Ray used to use all the time. I'm gonna get the slapjack.
Stevie Ray. I said the other book.
He said the other Booker.
Wasn't them two like the NWO Jobber tag team?
You talking Stevie Ray?
Stevie Ray and Vincent. It was like the NWO. Like if you need somebody to get beat up in the tag team, man, you put them two in there.
Yeah, my God, boy, when you said the other Booker, man, you just straight Tito Jackson that man.
No, my bad.
No, but Virgil, who was very popular, who had success in the WWE, and he was Ted DiBiase's lackey, basically almost his own personal slave. And actually, Q-Flow is funny because he's from Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania, so he's from our state. I mean, we ain't from Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. But I was saying,
brother, we from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
we our own state. Everybody else is Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. See, I can't even argue with that. You're right. He used to do bodybuilding competitions, and then he met up with Mr. America Tony Atlas himself, who got him into the wrestling, as Tony Atlas would say. And then he started training with Alpha of the Wild Samoans, and then he came in there and first he did Soul Train Jones in Memphis, and then that's when he then he came to the World Wrestling Federation as Ted DiBiase's bodyguard, and so his whole purpose was to protect the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and he was, basically like his slave. He would just drive him everywhere, and then he wouldn't talk. That wasn't the first thing. He wouldn't talk, but the whole plan of it was him for the $1 Million Man to just embarrass this man and belittle this man, so that when he eventually turns on him, the crowd would be into it. Which that eventually did happen at Royal Rumble, where he turned on Ted DiBiase when he was going to hand him the $1 Million belt. But then what he did was he hit Ted DiBiase with the belt at the Royal Rumble, and then he beat him at WrestleMania 7 by countout. And then they had a match at SummerSlam for.
That's crazy.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said he couldn't even beat him clean. He had to beat him by countout, which is crazy.
Yeah. But then he did end up beating Ted DiBiase for the $1 Million Championship at SummerSlam, and like that was like Virgil's biggest year ever. And then he dropped it back to him in like November of '91. But then other than that, he was just like an upper mid card kind of guy. Then went down to the mid card, and then eventually he just left, and he ends up going to WCW, and that's when he was part of the New World Order as Vincent. And I remember seeing Vince. I was like, okay, because I honestly, like I said, I wasn't at that time when Virgil was hot. I wasn't watching WWE at that time. I was more watching WCW. So when Vincent came in there, and I was just like, oh, this guy just getting his ass beat the fuck up, or getting speared by Goldberg, or he's just the one that's taking all the damage, for that. Now, obviously, when it comes to Vincent, obviously we be a little hard on Virgil, because some call it a hustle, and I'm just like, no matter where it was at conventions or conventions that he wasn't even invited to, Virgil would have a table, set up shop, and sit there and sign pictures. If you needed a picture, you had to pay him. And he would do it, but, for the money. And he'd be at subway stations with Ted DiBiase pictures that Virgil could sign anyway, find a way to get money any kind of way. Probably should send me videos all the time about Virgil.
It's not funny, but it's funny how they had the whole table and Virgil just beat up by himself. It
too, because remember the video you sent me of Scott Hall where he was like, I don't know.
I was like, look, I ain't gonna lie. I think that's probably one of my favorite Virgil videos, because he was like, he had an action figure, for y'all if y'all haven't seen it. He had an action figure of himself. It was like one of them little action figures, like one of the ones that don't move. It's just stiff.
Yeah, them old postable 80s ones. Yeah.
Scott Hall came over. He was like, I don't recognize this guy, and he put him on his back. He was like, oh, there you go. There's Virgil. on his back, taking the pinfall. It's like, dang.
Oh my god, yeah, Scott Hall was a mess though, bro. And there was parts of me that, other than just laughing and trolling, I felt bad for Virgil a little bit. And then he would just periodically appear in certain things, and I'm just like, why is Virgil here?
No one knows.
Oh wait, hold on. I heard is that Quattro here?
It is I. I am him.
Hey man, what is going on?
Nah, man. Same old.
I just got I got people popping in and out today, so say that's what's up.
How's podcasting?
Well, we're recording at the moment, like right in here.
Talking about Soul Train Jones, aka Mike Jones.
I don't know who the hell that is.
You know exactly who that is. That is Virgil.
Oh, I only know him as that. I really do. Let me jump in and tell you my Virgil memories.
Don't hurt him.
He was the dude next to $1 Million Man.
Uh-huh.
And then he would be at tables getting autographs, and they would be empty.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. I don't got a deep Virgil connection at all. I have a deeper connection to Virgil from Mighty Max, the Owl.
Wow, you took it back, bro. you took it like back there. It probably shouldn't even went that far back. For no reason. Yeah, but no, we were just actually talking about that, about how he would just be setting up shop, hustling, just trying to get money. If you want to take a picture, you paying for it. Interview, you paying for it. Because he just, he just fell off. And I know he was getting sick. He had a brief moment in 2010 when he returned to Raw, and he was like Ted DiBiase's Jr.'s, bodyguard, because that was Ted DiBiase's son. So he came back with the Virgil gimmick on there. And then DiBiase fired Virgil, and then he actually had like a little he came in with AEW. That's when he came in as Soul Train Jones. He was already Soul Train Jones before, but now he just came back in there again. And this was back in 2019, 2020, and that was like the last appearance that he had. And it's sad because when you actually go look up Virgil, and when you go look at like the history outside of wrestling, they be having pictures of Virgil by himself at these tables. and nobody be going over there, and it's just such pathetic version.
Have y'all ever seen it live? Because that's exactly what happened.
I think we did see Virgil live. Because I think when we went to I don't know, I really can't remember. So I don't even want to put the lies out in there. But when we went to God.
Was it Wizard World?
No, absolutely not. They wouldn't bring Virgil to that Wizard World. Absolutely not. No, it wasn't Wizard World. It had, what is that thing called? Icons of Wrestling.
Gotta be Icons. Gotta be Icons then, yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know if we saw Virgil there at all, but I do remember we was clowning Roadkill, because Roadkill was in the same boat.
Right.
And the only one that went over to Roadkill was you, because I was like, that is one name you do not need on your ECW champion on your hoodie.
Yep, and I got it over there, and he's on the hoodie.
Man, that's why he on the back, so you can't see him.
And the messed up part is, first off, but the messed up part is, unfortunately, as a wrestler, there's so many people in your field and in your craft, you're only going to have but so many fans. And at the same time, when you have the prestige of...
Rob, can you please stop sending us these lonely...
How many $1 million champions were there? Look, how many $1 million champs are there? 5? He's one of 5? And it was like, yeah, so...
Why are you trying to... I'm about to say... you know what? I'm sorry. It's...
That's somebody that died.
This, first of all, this is just so wrong, because I'm just saying, you just see...
That's somebody that died, and we say that, like, we were just talking about... Sorry.
It's this Hollywood Walk of Fame picture that's killing me right now. Because is that Vince McMahon's star? I can't see it.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look, like I said, I feel bad because we coming at this man, but he was sick, and then he passed away, and it just seems like, and once again, this ain't a reflection of how we feel, but it's like the internet just ain't care again, except for like Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho donated $5,000 to the funeral cost, and you know what, the asshole in me, because I'm just gonna be honest with what it was. The asshole in me was just like, so you just paid for the coffin, because funeral was like $10,000, and I'm just like, I've been through this already. $5,000 is getting you a cremation, and I'm like, that's fucked up. That's. I'm like, can we show some love to Virgil, please?
But what's the other side of that? What we gonna be like? Come on, Chris, you should have paid for the same thing. He can kind of be like, why? And you're like, well, yeah.
You're like, that's the whoever's left family job. So yeah. So rest in peace to both those men that we did lose. I want to get to talk about that first.